Record. Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to the weekly outlook. Glad to see so many of you in here. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Let's go. I wish you all the best for this week. So let's start. Let's hope we make some money this week as well, right? So, dollar index. If you keep all your questions, I'll answer them at the end. So if you can stop the chatting, will be great. Don't worry. Just write your questions down. At the end, I'll answer them. Keep them. When I say questions, you'll start posting. Dollar index, as we said last week, we were expecting this to go back up, and we're getting the upside. I still think there is more upside here. You can see that. So I think we'll watch it back to this trend line. Some more upside. We're in a consolidation right now, short term, but more upside. Euro, which means we can expect euro to go down some more. Euro is also making a big consolidation in here. We expected that last week. Remember, we said we like this to go down, and it starts to do that, and it's going down here now. So somewhere along this trend line, we'll pay attention for a bounce or for a break. Either way would be a good trade. As it stands right now, they could go both ways. We're expecting more of a bounce when they come here. So I think most when they come here, we would look for some kind of a bounce back to the upside, short term breaking the top and then the reversal. There's a good chance they could break. So if you get a sell setup here, you can take it. Do we have a sell setup right now? No. Well, if they break the structure, you can give it a chance. If they break this structure they're making here now, you can go for this sell, back to this, breaking the low, and then, move that to break even, move it into profit and see if they break through, right? There is a chance they could. Pound, we think that you're going to get more downside. If you took the sell already, I'm not done with that sell, which you could have taken there and make money. But if you took this sell here, as they come to the low, you want to move it into profit because there's a chance you get one more up before you go down, right? A bigger correction in here before you go. So where is it going? Daily, I think we showed this last week. Remember, I said we are not buying the pound at the top. Let me just stress this. If you were in my webinar last week, I said, I don't care if the pound is going up. We're not buying the pound at the top. We're selling the pound. I actually posted this chart for you guys. Before the election, before all the news and before all the noise, look for a sell setup. This thing is going to go down, right? So if you manage to get in the sell setup, there were 2 sell setups within that structure. If you manage to get any one of them, you're doing well. Now, we're making a correction right now here, and that correction may take a while. Right, then the 1 hour I show you. You see when they make corrections, they do take a while. Like this one was big, this one was big, right? This one was much bigger. So we had a big one here. So, you're going to expect some kind of a small one like this, which took 2 days. This one is just 1 day, right? So on a 1 hour or a 4 hour, you could get more upside here. Sideways, not up, but sideways. Potentially, if you're already in the trade, you could get sideways and then downside. So if they do this, would be perfect sell setup for you. This would be a really good trade and you don't want to miss it. Still more downside than this, right? Aussie USD, it's at the top now. Finally, we were expecting Aussie to make 3 waves, come break this top. Remember last week we said if you take this trade here, it's possible it's going to be short term because you're looking for this to make 1, 2, 3. Well, we've done that now. And the reason we were looking for that is because I showed you this structure here. If you remember, 1, 2, 3. So we've got that. Now, what we're looking for is downside. This trade is what we're looking for. If we get a setup, that is the trade we're looking for. So let's go look for it. On the 4 hour, not ready. And the 4 hour, you actually have this that looks like a flag and a breakout. Don't be fooled by that. So wait for it. I think what you're going to find here is some kind of a consolidation. And if you get this consolidation here, that's your trade. And if you take this trade, you don't want to get out of it. You want to keep that trade all the way to the bottom of the daily triangular pattern. Right? I've shown that pattern like 1,000 times. So I'm pretty sure all of you have seen it. Right? So if you haven't seen it, let me give you a very fast look at it. Anybody, by the way, here for the first time in my webinar? Give me a yes if you're here the first time. Okay, we got some first timers. So we're expecting this to come here and then we'll be looking for that move. So let's see if we get this move here. Go back to this in the 4 hour. The buy, even if they go for one more high, the buy setup is not ready. And what you would be looking for the buy setup, if you know, is if they make a flag here. I want them to make a flag like this. And if they break this flag, then you go for one more impulse. Take this trade, get it to break even, and get it into profit. Because if this goes, you're lucky. But if that doesn't go, they will probably make one more up. Let me change the color. They'll probably do one more up like this and then start going down, which means we'll get a correction like that. So be aware. It could give you a buy setup. If you take the buy, worst case scenario, get a break-even trade. Good case scenario, it goes. But there's still potentially to the downside. We're looking for that trade, right? New Zealand crawling up to the top as we expected. Nothing new. Absolutely nothing new here. And exactly what I told you it's going to do from the very start. It's going to repeat this move. Well, you have one more trade to the upside. This week, that's your trade. And then you start looking for downside. There is potential of breaking. Don't worry with that trend line, because they could break that trend line. They could break this top and still reverse. Don't ask me why. That's a whole long process to explain to you why that is so. So the trend line itself is insignificant. There is a reason we have the trend line there, but its significance in terms of what the structure is doing is not based on the trend line. So what you're going to do is you're going to watch for this possible trade here. What are the chances is that this is not going to make that, but starting to come down? Also possible. Structurally, that is also possible. You don't have a sell until they break the structure. So you will have to let them break through the structure, make a correction up, and then you start selling. Don't jump into this candle. If you're in this trade, I think some of my traders were very short term. I hope they took profit. I hope they get break even, the worst case scenario, because you know, it still looks upside. So watch that one. Yen, we think it's downside. We were already in the sell. A lot of us are in that sell. We're expecting it to test this low and then go back up. So there were short-term buys there, but some of you may be in the sell from earlier. Remember, we were looking for this sell. That was a sell you got. This is another sell setup. You may get a sell today because they could consolidate. You see, normally they make small consolidations in the middle like that, small consolidation. So you may get a flag somewhere here, a small one, and then you can look for a trade down. If you're not already in the trade, because there was a 1 hour flag here. A nice 1 hour flag that broke. So we're still expecting this to go down. Now, any chances that this could start to go up? Right now, I think very little. Anything is possible, but structurally, we're still expecting this to retest this low before they go, right? We expect this to come back in, test this low, and then go back up. So we're still in that trade, and we hope that goes good. Let's see. It's not a very big trade. It's a short-term trade. With, you know, once you get it to the bottom there, you get a good small risk to reward profit. You take it, and then you wait for the next big trade up. CAD. I posted this one for a buy. I hope you remember. I posted that for this buy to break the top. And once they broke the top and reversed, I actually said, guys, best chance is you want to take that out for break even because it's making a deeper correction. So I hope all of you, way before this happened, took it out for break even because we actually sold this, right? We sold that in our trading room. So I hope all of you got out for break even or a very small loss on that one. If you did, you're right in here, right? You should have gotten right in there, got out right. For us, that wasn't a buy trigger. Don't ask me why also, because based on our strategy, that did not trigger our trade for a buy, right? So watch this here, what it's doing. Now, I don't think CAD is going up as yet because structurally, CAD will still make one more high, possible for one more high. We're making a very big consolidation here. We made one move up. We made 1, 2, 3. We could still go back for one here and then come down. Let me show you that in a 4 hour now. This potentially still looks like a 1, 2, 3 wave structure for more upside. The whole thing is a big correction. So we're looking for that downside. If this is going to go down from where it is right now, wait for this to make a flag. Let it go back up there like that. And then we look for a sell setup, something like this. And then you look for a sell setup. So what would that look like in the 1 hour? Something like what it's doing right now. break this here, go back up there, and then start to come down. Now you have a sell setup. From here, you will get a sell setup, and that will be a long-term trade, right? All the way to the bottom of the daily trend. So watch this trade here down. If this might give you a short-term buy, but I don't think many of you have the skill level for that. It's going to be like what it did here. You'll have to get out for break even or a small profit. So if you can manage that, yes, you might get a short-term buy here and come. If this short-term buy turns out to be very good, right, which means if this is the one turns out, it might get you to this level, right? So this could be a buy, but you may be aware that when they stop here, they could go back down, right? They could do what they did here. Don't get to the target and come back down. So if you can trade that, if you understand how that structure could develop, that would be a good trade. Let's go to Swiss. Swiss is breaking, but I don't think the trade itself is ready for a sell. They're making a flag. I would like to see a little more of a flag here, and then we can take this trade down, right? It's going to go down. It just needs some time to consolidate there. Euro Oz, we are bouncing around here, so I think we can. They did break out, right, last week, but it didn't go very much, so they pull back, and we're watching this here now. This broke out. Well, let's see what happens here. I want to see this come back at least to the 618, so we can look for a buy setup. Now, you may think, well, why not a sell? Because if you look at it 4 hours, we could be making a flat. So if they're making a flat here for a sell setup, I want to see them come back, break this top, and then go down. So we'll get a sell setup somewhere here or somewhere here. But the way this Euro Oz structure itself, I would actually like to see it come back to about a 618, then go down for this trade and up. This would be the bigger correction we're looking for. And we said last week we were looking for a bigger correction. Remember last week we said we were looking for a bigger correction to the downside? It's very similar to this. 1, 2, 3. So we have got one down already. One is already there. You can see it very clear. We're in this 2. We want that 2 to happen. That is why I said I think 618 is a good place to go. Then we'll be looking for 3. I hope this 3 broke the low this time. If they break the low, we're looking for upside. It's lagging. Is anybody else having lagging? If you're getting lagging, give me a yes. Okay, 14 people out of 348 having lagging. It could be your internet on your side, right? If we had, like 100 people saying it's lagging, then that would be a problem. Only 14 people getting lagging so far. So you guys may want to log off and log on back. You will have the recording in any case, right? Give me a second. Good. So let's go. So watch this. I still think there is going to be more upside. And if you get a buy setup, I think we could get a buy setup very soon. They'll make a flag or something like that here. And if you get a buy setup, take it. If you're going to sell this, only under this line. Don't sell it here. It's a little dangerous to sell it there. You're probably going to get a loss. Right? So let's go. Euro in New Zealand. Upside. I hope you're buying. I hope any one of you are buying, because we said when they break this, watch for the break of this, the upside. Now, if you buy it, watch it when it comes here. Anybody in the buy? My traders are in the buy. If you're in the buy, okay, great. Watch it when it comes to the trend line, because there's one chance you can get one more low before you go. I'm not expecting the low. I'm expecting it to go. 1 second, guys. My voice is going. Hold a second. Okay. I hope my voice managed to go through. Let's go. Yep. So watch this. It's coming up. There's a good chance. If you're not in the buy, that's not a very good risk to reward trade. But once it gets to the top and it breaks through, we can all look for it to go up. right? We did break this trend line, but that doesn't mean very much, except that we're making a much bigger correction. So watch for this to come up here, and then we will decide whether we get one more down before they go. I very likely think it will repeat what I think the Euro Aus is doing. One up, one down, and then up, right? Just a bigger correction in this level. But you want to buy. So if you're in the buy, move to positive. If you're not in the buy, wait until they break and then buy. Euro Yen, it's kind of consolidating, so I don't see anything very much here. They may tag this low and then go back up. This is just one big correction in here for upside, right? I think we spoke about that last week. Not very much, movement happened since then, so it's still in the consolidation. You might just get one small move here and then you start looking for the next move up. This is just one big consolidation, right? So the best thing to do is stay out of it for a while. Even on the 1 hour, you don't have anything. It looks like a flag, more like a triangular looking pattern here, not so much of a flag, something like this. And these patterns tend to go both ways, that way or this way. If they come to the top, they'll probably make one more down. Short-term trade, maybe. Short-term trade, definitely. Right? If they break to the downside, that's a nice short-term trade. Euro Chief, also a very short-term trade, but then you're looking for a buy after that. This may come here, very short-term trade. And then you're looking for this to go up. I think I already showed you that. It's behaving pretty much similar to what happens in the Peng Yen, where you see the pattern very early. You keep seeing the divergence, you see that, but then, it just keeps crawling down, and then eventually takes off. So what you got to do is prepare yourself for this trade this week. I think this week we could get that breakout. One more down move and then the breakout. If you want to sell it to the downside, not a bad idea, but just be careful because we know they're not going down very far. It looks a lot more upside. So let's see. The sell setup would be the break of this structure here. It's a nice short trade down to this level. So you probably get about 100 pips out of that. Let me see. 26, not a lot. I'll probably leave it. Yes, more of an AB squeeze. So we expect this to go up. Let them finish this move and we look for buy setups. Okay, so this week you'll probably get that buy. Euro Pound, remember what we said is going to go up. It's not a sell. I showed you this. I kept it there for you to see. It's going to go up. Even when it was looking like it's going down here, everybody was like, this is going down. I'm like, no, it's going up. Right, it's actually going up. So we are finally in the sell. So we're in the sell of that already. But we can't lose the trade. The problem is they can't take us out. Remember, I told you we have an amazing strategy. If we're right, we are okay. If we are wrong, we're okay. That's one of those strategies where we don't have to worry about it, right? Basically, we know how much we can lose, and we can't lose more than that no matter what happens. Exactly. No matter what happens to this trade, we know exactly how much we will lose, right? So not that easy, not just a sell order. So we'll see. So let's go, right? It doesn't matter. Like this trade could go up as much and down, and we may still make money out of it. Basically, it could go up, we might make money. It could go down, we might make money. So we'll see. Basically, I'll probably tell you how much, whether we make money in the upside or the downside. So you guys will know that next week. I'm hoping we make money in the downside because that is where the big money is. And I'm expecting it to go down big time. So if this thing follows, if this does what we think it could do, we're expecting this to actually come back here, right? We completed 1, 2, 3. Now this has a chance of going up a little more, right? And if that goes up a little more, well, we might either be break even or we might make, small money. We want it to actually start coming down now. We don't want more upside in it. But let's see. The market will tell us, right? We have a lot of divergence. There's a good chance you're going to get a downside now. We did break the top again, but it's looking more like they're going to come back here, right? Let's see how it goes. By the way, you guys could look for a sell setup. Don't sell it right there. Wait for it to come break here. Make a small flag and then look for that trade. Anywhere in here that they make a flag, if they break, would be a good trade to the trend line and then watch them break. Because they're at the top of a daily move. So you're looking for the downside. Even if it goes a little higher, it's going to go down, right? Because this is exactly what we are saying it should do. Starting from here, Starting from here, we said watch this to make 1, 2, 3 here, come back, break the top, and then go down. And it's doing exactly that. So time to sell, or time to look for the sell setup, because that's exactly what it does. You don't want to miss that trade to the downside. EuroCAD going sideways here. I think we stay out of this for a while, because potentially they could go up, and they could go up all the way to the top here, right? So you wait for a buy setup if they go. This is one of those patterns that are not very standard. This is more, it could be some kind of a running flat and they go up. So you'll have to be careful with how you trade this, understanding the pattern, knowing what is limit. So when when they break this structure here, you can look for a buy setup. But the dangerous thing is you'll be jamming at top there, see? So if you don't, it's a complicated buy if you understand what I'm saying, which means that the structure could be turning anytime to the downside, but I'm afraid we might not get the downside. We might just get the upside of it. We've seen this happen before. This happened to us before in trades, where instead of getting a deeper correction, they just continue to go. So if you want to be very risky, you can actually take a buy setup somewhere in here, wait for this to make some more consolidation in here. And if it does make more consolidation, you take a trade here with a stop somewhere here or somewhere here. That will be a very, very risky trade. It will have to be with traders who have experience. And then when it comes to the top, you move it to break even. It will break out, come to this level, and you can move into profit. And from there, you'll see whether it's turning to the opposite side and give you a small profit, or it's going up to give you a big profit. Basically, that's it. Nothing much. Pangos. Good. So remember, we said Pangos is coming down very much to the downside, right? Nobody should be surprised of this. And then it started to go up last week. So I said, guys, we might get some upside when this break. And I think one trader went and said, but you keep saying it's going down, and now you're saying it's going up. I'm like, yes, it's going down. But it's going up. It always corrects. That's what the chart does. That is why it's wave theory, and it's not a straight line theory, right? So when I said this week you were looking, last week I said you may want to look for that little up move because it's going up, but then it's going to come back. The bigger direction is down. The corrections always happen, and you will always get them. That's what you use the corrections to make trade, right? So it's not I'm changing my view. It's I'm telling you what it's going to do for this week or for last week. If you remember last week, you started to break this, you started to look for downside. Now what it's going to do this week, it's probably going to consolidate here. And if it consolidates here, you're going to get the next move down, which is good for you, right? Can you buy into that consolidation? Depends on how the consolidation is going to happen. We don't know what type of patterns are going to be in the consolidation. Some of the patterns you can trade. Some of them are not tradable because you will not get good risk to reward you. They may come back and take you out for break even. If you're unlucky in an expansion kind of a pattern, you are going to get a loss. Right? Depends on how you trade it. So we don't try to trade the corrections. We let them correct. Only very skilled traders can do that. You let it correct. Let it make that correction. And then you look for your next trade down. That's the whole thing. So this week, you might not get a trade in here. Right? If you're lucky, you do, but you might not. And then you get this trade at the end of the week or next week because they always consolidate, right? I don't think they consolidate. We're not expecting a week of consolidation. We're expecting a couple of days of consolidation. So we already started it. You got that move up, and there's a good chance they make one more up. This would give you a perfect three-wave pattern for a sell. Remember, we said the Pong may do that same kind of pattern, and it's going to go down. All the Pong pairs have the similar structure. We've been talking about them coming down for a long, long time. We were talking about them going back up and coming down. If you go back in my webinars, remember what we said? Oh, I actually have it here. I don't have to go tell you what I said. I actually have that trade coming up here and then going down because we're in a downtrend, right? You see this one, the similarities of these two? That's what I was showing you. So when they come there, what they do, they go down back. You're looking for this trade down. See? Not difficult. They came up, now they're going down. Watch for it. Wait for a pullback and then sell. Don't sell at the bottom. It's making a bottom there. Wait for that consolidation. Wait for that corrective structure. Let it go back up and then look for a sell setup. Let's go. Pound New Zealand, similar structure. This one actually is starting to make us, so that was a perfect sell setup. Any one of you took that trade? Nobody? Okay, some of you did. That was a perfect sell setup. We've got a number. This is making a sell setup, so you got to be careful with this one here, though. If we expect all the pound pairs to make deeper correction, it could. So if you take any trade here, calculate your risk above that top for a longer term trade, right? So what you can do is wait for a small flag here, and if you get it, look for a sell. If they crawl up back like this, look for a sell from the top. Your stop will have to be above here. Your risk is, the reward is way down at the bottom. See the similarity? At least you're going to get this trade. And then we will see if they go back up. So you want to wait to see if you're going to get a deeper pullback. I think they may give you a deeper pullback. All the pound pairs are looking like they're going to give a deeper pullback. They make a flag on the 1 hour, sell it. Pound yen, same thing. We were in this trade, very small sell there now. This one broke the low. So we think this could go. This was a nice sell setup from the top there. Actually, the sell setup was from here. You see where that line was? That was where the sell setup was. Come here, move the break even, get out of the, move your stop to here, get out of the trade, sell it back again there, and go down. 1 hour you had sell setups. If you're not in it, this is a trade. We're in this trade. We'll probably get out of the trade very soon because this is not going very far. I think we're going to start to get deeper pullback, which means this structure has to correct. And when I said correct, I don't mean it's changing direction. I mean they're correcting. We actually have how this structure should develop, right? This is based, I think I showed you this last week, what it should do. I think I showed you this the week before, right? And everybody should have taken a copy of this about a week when it was at the top there, right? For that sell setup. Remember I showed you, I said you may want to take a copy because this is how we think it's going to develop. Remember this one that nobody thought was going to go up. Now it's coming down, and I think we will be looking for one more up before they go down, right? Because this might be making one of those complex B-wave structure. So we'll watch for this when it comes here, when it breaks this low to go back up. That is a very strong possibility that they're going to break the low and then go back up. Well, they're on their way to breaking that low. So if the yen goes the way we think it's going to go, then expect this to just drop here. We might not get that deeper pullback and then go. It might just drop here and then start going back up. So keep your eyes on this one. We're in the sell already, and we'll see what to do with it. We're in a sell a number of the pound trades. We'll see what to do with them. It's going nicely, so we can't lose in it. We're already in profit. Pound CAD. This is breaking. This one is interesting. We're already breaking out of the structure. We expected pound CAD to go up. Remember, the only one that had a buy setup last week? This was the only one of the structures that had a buy setup on it. Actually was a buy. Some of our traders took it, and then it started to do that, and then we just closed the trade. Right? Because when they break, they should go. So we closed that trade. We actually looked. We didn't trade this in the news event, the one that we were looking for the sell, because we weren't sure what it's going to do, but it's breaking. And if it breaks here now, the next trade is way down to the bottom here. So if they break here, they will have to make a flag. This will take you about a week, maybe this week, and then next week we start trading it down. If they break that structure, they will have to make a correction before you get in the trade. So all the pound trades are showing us possible, except for pound yen, showing us possible corrective structures before they go. If you get that corrective structure, we will sell. Watch it, allow it to make a very good corrective structure, not a small one. At least a day or two, and then you look for sell setups, right? Pound Chief, we're also in this sell because we knew this one was going to go down, and I think I showed you why I knew it's going to go down. We looked at this many times. On the weekly, we have that chart that shows it's going to go down, so we are in the sell, and we are expecting it to tag this low. I think this is the chart, yes, weekly outlook. We're expecting them to tag that low. I think we showed you guys, watch it, we were expecting that. And we had another chart, we had two more charts that shows the same structure. We had another one that shows the bigger structure. I think this was it. Let me see if this was it. Yep, that bigger one there showing the downside, right? It's going down, and this one is going down, right? So we're coming to retest that low. I think this is a very good one. Let's see how it goes. Probably if this goes back to correction, we might still keep the trade because we are still very high in the trade. If they go back to thing, we'll probably take some profit if they do this and then look for downside, right? Right now, bad sell. Wait for them if they pull back. If they don't, wait for a 1 hour flag, then sell. If they break through to the bottom, wait for a 1 hour flag and then sell. Don't just jump in the trade. Let them give you a flag because there's a good chance this pulls back here and then go. Now, can you buy it from here? Not a good idea. If they come here and they make a flag for you, you get that trade. Short-term trade, but remember you're selling. Right? Remember you're a seller in it. So you, when they're in a 4 hour correction, a daily correction, you do get some nice short-term trades that are counter trend, but you must be able to trade them, right? They're very dangerous. In terms of how fast they could happen, stay out of the Aussie yen. New Zealand yen is giving you a perfect sell setup. I think I showed everybody this one. It's going to break that top, then go down. So you can start looking, let's take this off. You can start looking for a sell setup somewhere here. Wait for a correction here and look for this straight down, right? You got 1, 2, 3 up, you got 1, 2, 3 down, you got 1, 2, 3 up. Look for a 1, 2, 3 down, but you can start selling from here if you get a flag, right? If you get this trade, look for this trade down and probably even lower. Skip the Swiss Chiefs. Let's go to the CAD yen. Sorry, CAD yen is looking like it's coming down right now. I don't think we have a sell. So this could either be 1, 2, 3 and we are going down, or this could be 1, 2, 3, 4 and then you go down. So somewhere here is a possibility for one more up. If you're going to sell this, wait until it makes a good correction and then go, because they can still go back up here and then come down. I'm more for the upside. The sell setup, I'll wait for a very deep correction before I go with it. CAD yen daily. That's what the daily chart looks like, right? You got to move down. You got a 1, 2, 3 correction. You got to move down. You're probably getting a 1, 2, 3 correction. You got to move down and then you start looking for upside. Okay, makes sense? Well, for this week, your trade for this week, wait for it to give you that break and then you sell, or probably a little more up here, a little more up here, and then you go, right? So we'll see that. New Zealand CAD, nothing to do there. Aussie CAD, nothing to do there. We looked at them this morning in our webinar. We'll not waste time on them. Aussie, New Zealand, let's look at it. Right now, you're bouncing, right? So they broke this structure and then they started to make a correction here. Unless they break this flag here, you don't have a sell setup. This could go back up, and I think we're looking for an upside because there's a good chance this is making a flat here. And if it's this make 1, 2, 3 for a flat, we're going to go up. And if we start going up, you want to buy. So wait for them to make this flag here. And if you get a flag there, look for a buy setup. Because the buy setup could be taking you back all the way to the top. That buy setup could take you back. This is all the way back to this top here. Take this out, I'll give you an idea. If you get a buy setup, you want to hold that trade all the way back to this top. I think I showed this last week. All the way back to this top. If you get the buy setup. So let's go to 4 hour. Not there, 1 hour, not there. Should we look for a sell setup? There, if they break this low here. I'll put this trend there. It's not a trend really, but I'll just show you that. If they break this low here, you can sell. If they make a flag here, look for a buy. Right? Either way, this could go right now. The downside is short-lived. The upside is a longer trade. XAG, coming down right now. 2 scenarios. Let me draw them for you. We actually thought this would give me one more before they come down, but they came down pretty sharp. So we're going to look at this 2 ways. I'll wait for them to make a flag and then sell. I'll wait for them to make 1, 2, tree, and if I see this structure, I'm buying again. I'm already in the buy. So we closed some buys here and we bought them back somewhere here. And we are actually in this buys now. It's a little upside down. Don't worry about that. I'm not worried about it ever, right? We're buying silvers without stop. So what we're going to do now is we'll allow to see what happens here. If they make a flag here, I'll close these trades, look for a sell, maybe. I'm not interested in the sell, but I'll start buy from the low here, which means we'll be looking for this structure. Let me give you the two options of how this structure could develop. Don't ask me why, right? Because it's a long explanation. If you get a flag here, sell for them to break this low. They will break the low and then start to go back up. If you make a three-wave pattern at the top here, 1, 2, 3, look for buys to break this top. So either way, they either come break the low and then go back up, or they go back up now. It's a weight game, understanding what structure they're building in there, and then you make the decisions. So right now, no need to panic. Remember I said you should never be afraid of the chart, right? We're in the buy and we're not afraid. So you should not be afraid either. Wait, let's see which one they give us here. If they give you this, for you, you can take short-term sell. Break the low, take profit, look for buys, right? It comes back very high to the top here. You don't have to buy immediately. You get a flag, a corrective looking structure. They come back one more, test this low and start to go back up. You're buying here, because that means it's upside, right? I can actually show you that pattern so you can see it, right? So let's go. Right now you're here. You're breaking out with this first one here, except that you got it a little bigger, right? It comes back up like this, do this, you start buying. Break of that trend line never means anything. Literally. People think we buy and we sell because it broke a line that I have on the chart. No, we don't. We buy or we sell based on what the structure is doing. It all has to do with what the structure is doing. So people who try to copy what I do by pulling lines will get yourself in trouble. And if you follow them, they'll get you in trouble, right? So be careful. The lines themselves they have value, but they're not value in terms of whether we buy and sell. Their value is only to tell us what pattern we're looking at. That's the only value of the line. What pattern am I looking at? In terms of the buy and sell, the structure has to give us that. Somebody wrote me an email and said, can you please tell me how I should know what are the entry orders and entries and exit and stop and take profit for flags and for, well, I can tell you that. I just need to teach you all the structures, all the possibilities of how it could develop, so that you can, and then I need to teach you how to recognize them. And then after that, great. You don't need to even ask me the question. You will already know that yourself. So yes, when you ask me, you should do, where's the buy? I said, okay, watch for this structure, watch for that structure, and then we were going to do it, right? Basically, I'm not trying to advertise my course. That's why I never mentioned the course. But I'm telling you that if you ask me that question and you said, can you tell me how you're going to do this? I will have to tell you, well, you can look for this structure and then you can do it. So you're going to ask me, how do I recognize that structure in the chart? Now I have to teach you the entire thing of what the structure is like first and how to recognize it in the chart. See? Those are the only ways I can actually give you how to trade like me, right? How many patterns? It's not only how many patterns, it's how many variations of those patterns you can get, and then how many complications of those patterns, which means complex patterns that could develop out of a simple pattern, right? You know the double tree and the triple tree? Well, you could get more than a triple tree. You could get a double tree and another double tree and another double tree, and all of that is just a single tree. It could get complicated. I'll show you one in the Punk CAD a little later, so that you guys, I'll show you the Punk CAD. I always show my traders that when I start the webinar, when I start teaching them, so they can learn, right? So let's go with goal. I'll show you guys how complicated corrective structures are going to get. So this one, same thing. Wait for this to make a good correction here, and then sell. If they go back up to the top there and come down back here, it's a buy. All right, let's go. Oil. Last week we said sell. I think this week is a sell, right? We said sell the week before. We said sell last week. I'll say the same thing, sell this week. Nothing changed. When they break this low, if and when they break this low, then you start looking for buy. This one, still looking like a sell. The only time you get a buy is when you break out of these structures, make corrections, then you look for buy, right? Not so fast. Gold, you can look for a sell, same thing like the silver, right? I think I showed the gold, I probably went too fast. Sorry, same thing like the silver, let me put it back here, right? Let it make a correction here. If it's just a small correction, you sell. If they go back up to the top in a corrective structure, come down back here, you look for buys. They're making a flag, a three-wave correction there, that will be buy. So kind of a flag, you sell. Kind of a structure, you look for buy, right? Let's go. Natural gas. Natural gas looks like it's developing a sell pattern here. This looks like it might give you a short buy, but the whole structure is looking like a sell. Look for a sell setup. Don't go for the buy. The buy may be short-lived. Go for the sell setup. You know, if they go for a buy, you wouldn't be in the trade, so don't worry about it, right? Let's go. New Zealand, Swiss, nothing much here. CAD, Swiss, nothing much here. These are very complex patterns, so better to stay out of them. Aussie, Swiss, wait for this as well. It's breaking out there, not confirming the upside as yet, so wait for it. S&P 500, I think you can look for downside. I said that last week, and I said the same thing this week. You can probably look for downside, and I think the downside is going to be a little deeper. You may want to look for a downside that could come back all the way eventually to there. They're not going to come in a straight line, but you can watch it. Looks like they will come back for a deep pullback, right? Same thing with Nifty. Nifty is coming already for a pullback. Watch it to see if they're going to break out of this structure. 4 hour. Or when they come to the bottom here, if they keep coming like this, you will get one more up, right? If they come like a flag here, you're going to get one more up, right? If they make a sudden drop here, you're going to get this and then downside. It's going to be a deep pullback. So watch for the sudden drop, possible. Let's see what else you're going to be interested. DAX. Let me do the DAX. DAX is, I think you can look for a sell setup. I've been saying that since last week also. Since the week before, some people sold that, some people sold this. You may be getting a sell setup right here, right now. Double top. Watch for them to come back, break this low, and then move that to break even. Either they fall or they go back up. Either way, if they go back up, you look for a sell at the top again, right? So you're getting a sell setup right now in it. So let's go. What else? XPD, some people trade this. Nothing to do here. Wait, stay. It's actually broke to the upside, so you wait. Let's see, copper. Some people want copper. Copper doesn't have anything much. It's now breaking out of this structure. So if you want to trade it up, wait for a, not even a flag, wait for a corrective structure in the 4 hour here before you go, right? Wait for that corrective structure before you go. Let's see, Bitcoin. Let's go look at Bitcoin. I hate to do Bitcoin because then people start coming and making noise on the chart for unnecessary reason. But you can see, I think it just happened already, right? So I was telling my traders this morning, if you took the buy, take profit, right? Because it's going to fall. And when they start to do that so often, right? When they're making those stops like that, what you have to recognize is that this thing eventually is breaking out. So if you get a corrective structure here, sell. If you get a corrective structure there now, sell it. Now, if it doesn't make a corrective structure, what it could do, and it's likely going to do, they will crawl up some more again. Right? Just track it. Every time you see they crawl up there, if you get in the trade, take profit, get in the trade, take profit, this thing will crash eventually. It's not because I'm, like one guy said, why are you, so angry? He said, why are you like talking like that on Bitcoin? I am not. I can't influence the market. I have no strength in doing that, right? It's not up to me. I'm just telling you what I see the market is going to do. And then one person come and said, well, you know nothing about Bitcoin. You should not mislead people. Well, here, yes, you may be correct. I know nothing about Bitcoin. I'll admit that. And I think all of us in the room will have to be honest that we know nothing about it. Because if you're in this room and you're telling me you know something about it, I'll challenge you one-on-one. And I'll show you you know nothing about it. Because we don't know. Not a lot of us know nothing about it. And that's the truth. You can go read all those things on the internet. You will still know nothing about it. But here's one thing that I know. Only one single thing that I know. And this is what I'm trying to tell all of you. I know that I don't know what is supporting Bitcoin to have this value. And let me explain that very simple. So when anybody's going to comment on my chart, they will base their argument on this. Any currency out of any country is supported by the economy of the country, the central bank, the government, the properties, the country itself supports that money. Which means you can sue them and get your money if you want at the end of the day. If it devalues and you get rid of it, your problem. You want to keep it, it's still worth the devalue. There's still the central bank stands to that. If the economy is strong, the currency should be strong. That's it. When you're buying gold and silver, we know what you're buying, right? You're buying a commodity. Anything that is a commodity, you're buying a commodity in exchange for your money, right? When you're buying something that is a stock, when you're buying a stock, you're actually watching at a company producing something in it either is going to grow or not based on what they're doing, right? Based on what they're doing. When a company is making profit, they will share that profit with you. They're not making profit, your stock value will go down. We understand that. Then you can know what is actually creating the increase in its cost. What is creating the increase in this cost? They're not producing anything, that's for sure. Right? They're not supported by any economy in the world. I'm not talking about regulations. I think a lot of people mistake countries regulating them by countries actually supporting them. That's a whole different story. Regulations, you're regulated by laws, by many things you do. The government is not going to stand by what you do in your business. Your business is regulated, right? In any country, but the government doesn't stand to support your business if it falls. Regulation is not support. I'm talking about what is increasing the value in this thing. So if let's put it to this. Let me just show you a very simple example so all of you will get it. When the price of this thing was here, let's just theoretically say, all of you bought here. Everybody who bought here, the price is here now. If everybody who bought here, if everybody who owns a Bitcoin at this price says, okay, we want to sell our Bitcoin right now at this price, where do they get the difference of this money to pay? Who pays that money up? Where does it come from? If any one of you answer me that question, then we can discuss Bitcoin, that is supported by something. Who will pay that money? Where does it come from? Who guarantees you that you're going to get it? Yeah, who will take the loss? In simple words, who is going to take that loss? Nobody. Absolutely nobody. Right? The next buyer, but nobody will be buying. That's the problem. The next buyer should take the loss and nobody will be buying. And that is what creates a crash. When everybody wants to sell and there is no buyer. That is what creates a crash. So I hope that goes over to you. That is when everybody wakes up. All the people who are sleeping and dreaming of becoming rich will wake up and say, oh my God, look how it's falling. I need to sell. And there is nobody to buy because nobody is dumb enough to go buy it when it's falling. And it will all disappear in thin air, except the money you give the guy who you bought from. He made some money because he has got your solid dollar in his pocket. He doesn't have your virtual money in his pocket. He has a solid money in his bank account. You have a virtual money. He has your solid money. That's the difference. He is taking your useless money that he told you is useless and is going to go out of business, and nobody wants that money. It's fiat money. Give it to me. Because it's fiat. It's not good. But give it to me. I'll give you something better. Give me the useless and I'll give you something good. How many of you ever thought of it that way? Very smart, right? He's telling you money is useless, but hey, you can buy this valuable thing for money. I know it's useless, but give it to me. I'll take it. I'm so stupid. I'll take your solid money and I'll give you something better. You know what is better if you want a solid money? Gold, silver, maybe diamonds. If they want to exchange that for your money, that's a different story. Even oil you can buy for your money. You have something in your hand. Go buy a house for it, right? Don't buy something virtual because you're going to get yourself in trouble. The point is you can make money trading it short term. I'm not saying nobody, the question is not whether you can make money. One guy said, but I'm trading it to make money. That's okay. Congratulations. I hope you don't get caught at the top when it starts to drop. Because once you get into buying it, you don't know when the crash is going to come. And you may be buying exactly at the point when the crash comes. So all the money you made likely to disappear. I would say if you trade it short term. That's my view on it. Trade it, you grab your profit and get out of it. Don't be the last person to get out of it. That is my point. Not that you can't trade it. But don't be the last one to be taking profit. And don't get greedy, thinking it's going to go more, it's going to go more. So I'm holding out strong, it's going to go more. Remember all the people who are holding out in gold and silver? And those are solid like hell, right? Gold is more solid than something virtual. And look at how many people are holding out in gold. Gold is going to go 2,000 whatever when gold was here. Let me show you. Maybe this will, help you guys to see a few things. Gold was getting here. Gold was, let's put it in daily. Gold was at the top here, right? And everybody was like, oh my, I need to go buy gold. I need to put my money in gold. This fiat money will be no good, man. This thing is no good. I need to go buy gold. Gold is 2,000. It's going to get to 2,005, and then it's going to get to 3,000 and 3,005. And you're hearing people going crazy. Some people, gold is going to get to 5,000. I'm going to buy right now. And then crash, and then they went and they even bought some more. Crash, they went and they bought some more. Boom. Not that you can't trade these things. You can trade them. You just have to understand structure, understand when it's very risky to buy and when it's very risky to sell. You don't buy at the top. At the top, you're looking for sell setups. When you're at the bottom, that is when you buy. You buy at the bottom, right? You remember when the calls to buy this thing was? Buy it. This was a call, buy it. This was a call, buy it. These were calls, buy them. This was a short-term sell setup. This was a buy. You're looking for buys at the bottom there. Here's where you start to look for sells because you're at the top. You are at the top. Put it to the weekly, and you will know that it is at the top. When it's at the top, what you do? You see how that top looks? It is at the top. Start to look for sell setups because you're going to get one of this coming. One of that is coming very soon. Easy. You don't have to be very smart to know that. Right? You really don't have to be very smart to know that. You just have to be able to look at the charts and say, holy, I can see it. Right? Yep, Euro Pound, we were expecting a downside. While at the same time, you mentioned Euro Chief is going up and Euro Chief is going, and Pound Chief is going down. Well, you know this Euro going up and Pound going down. Isn't Euro up and Pound down contradicting Euro Pound down? No, if the Pound Chief is going down, it doesn't have to mean the Pound downside. It could mean the Swiss downside as well, right? If the Euro Pound is going down, it doesn't mean the Pound upside. It could mean the Pound going into consolidation as well. So Pound may be in a long-term consolidation, and the movements could be Swiss and Euro. I don't look at any two pairs in terms of consolidation. I can see what you're saying, but we don't look at them in terms of their thing. Like Euro Swiss, right? Euro Swiss goes up because Euro goes up slightly, or or Swiss goes up slightly. Or both of them go down. One goes down faster than the other. You ever see the Pound Oz go up while Aussie and Pound both going down? That is possible. So you have to look at where they are in terms of structure. Some of them are short term, some of them are longer term. Some goes in sideways consolidation. Each chart I look at as the pattern that I have on them directly right now. Right? You missed the first 20 minutes, you probably look at it. So I can take some questions. Let's go to Aussie and look at it. Right? Aussie. We're looking for some downside here on this one. We're hoping that this starts to go down, and this would be a nice trade to the downside here, and then probably way down to the bottom on the daily. Right? So I'm looking for a sell setup as of now. I'm looking for a sell setup. Right? So Watch it, be careful. A lot of you are asking where you can find me. I think all of you have found me already, right? On Saxo platform. So I'll just show you very fast what the platform is while it's still recording. So it might look a little complicated and it might look like you're not actually seeing what I'm doing. Well, it's structured like that way. But here's one thing you need to know about this platform is if you're following me here, you will eventually, when I start posting, it will be some of the live trades I'm taking, because I will be trading a live account. The second thing you need to know is if you follow traders here, these are all live accounts. And this is where you can watch at the side here. You see all those trades there? Those are live trades on live accounts. See that? These are not traders who are just spamming charts for you. These people actually have live accounts. This is 1 month account. You can look at people for 3 months success. You can look at people for 1 year success. You know, you can follow them, you can don't follow them, you can just look at the trades that are taken here and decide whether you like the trade, whether you don't like the trade. But one thing you can be sure about is that these are live accounts. You notice I am not on the list because my live account is not triggered as yet. It's not open as yet. Right? That is why you don't even see me on the list. And it will take some time for me to start actually making, percentage on my live account to get on this list at the top. But here's the good thing. You're actually following people with live account. Not some spammer or some support and resistance guy trying to, get you to buy his signals. I hope I made that as clear as I can make it. And this is the kind of thing that I want. This is what I was trying to get in the other platform that I was, that they should be genuine. They should make sure that those guys are actually showing them real account and that they can make sure that those guys are actually, supporting their trade by something, and they were not. Right? Nothing in there. Some of them are just spamming charts to get likes, as if likes count, right? Show my account. When it starts here, you're going to see the live trades. So you will see it, Andrew. As soon as it starts here, you will see it. The trades we will be putting here will be live trades. Okay? Patience. And it's going to be a huge account, not a small account. So that is what I want TradingView to do. And that is what they're refusing to do. And they know why they're refusing to do it. Most of those top traders not even trading. Hey, you can go follow them. It's up to you. I'm not telling you to follow or not to follow. You want to go follow them? I guess, most of them are just, let them show you, basically. These are live accounts. That's what I can tell you. I already confirmed this with Saxo. Are these guys trading live account? And they said very much so. Nobody here is trading a demo account. That's it. If you're trading a demo account, you can on Saxo, but you wouldn't be on the list. Is there a difference? That's the big difference. So you want to go follow a spammer who spams chart because he's getting likes? Go ahead. Or you want to follow real people. So we will be trading real live account here. Mine is not open there as yet. Sorry, wrong one. Go back here. So all of you, wishing you a very, very successful week. And see all of you next week. You can help a friend. If you like what I do, you can help a friend by sharing the link with him, right? Take care, trade with care, see all of you. I'll try to post some charts out for you guys. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.